Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
Welcome to another episode of the Rare Beer Club. I'm your host, the Ginger Yeti. And if you're new to the channel, the Rare Beer Club is a subscription box I get every month put out by the Beer of the Month Club. I receive a box that contains 2 hand-selected beers, costs me about $60. Generally, I unbox it and review one blindly, and then review another one at a later time. However, I have a big backlog of these, and this one was part of a box that was already opened, so I just grabbed it out and decided I was going to review it. I believe this is from 2023, and this is the Chardonnay Barrel-Aged Scotch Silly, or if you look it up on Untapped and Beer Advocate, I think they call it the Scotch Silly Chardonnay Barrel-Aged. It's from Brasserie De Silly, and since it's just silly Scotch or a Scotch silly, I figured I'd wear a t-shirt with a silly Scotchman on it. My good friend Don from Don's Beer Reviews. If you don't know who he is, go check out his channel. He's an amazing gentleman, does amazing reviews, just an excellent human being. Go check him out. Don, I hope you're doing well. Hope you get to watch this video. So, our Rare Beer Club always comes with this paperwork. Big, long explanation. I'm going to read a lot. I hope you all stick around. Before I read the paperwork, I'll look at the beer here. This is a limited edition Silly Barrel-Aged Scotch Silly, Scotch Ale aged in Chardonnay barrels, Brasserie De Silly, Rue Ville Basse, Silly, Belgium, 10% alcohol. Not anything too interesting on the back there. Pretty nondescript label right there. So, like I said, it gets this paperwork here. Read a little bit about the brewery, then we'll get into the beer. So the Rare Beer Club has managed to secure a very special release from Belgium's historic Brasserie De Silly, whose long-standing brewing heritage dates back 6 generations. The brewery was founded all the way back in 1850 in the small village of Silly, 25 miles southwest of Brussels. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure it's some pronunciation that eludes me because I'm a dumb American that can't say anything in any other language but English and speak English poorly. The brewery, founded by Marcelin Hippolyte Minbruggen, truly a good name, was originally called Sensei de la Tour. Marcelin's first beer, Saison Silly, was created from his own malted harvest of barley, and this Saison was the beginning of many great Belgian classics ahead. In 1900, Minbruggen's grandson, Adeline, received a silver medal for the brewery at the Paris World Exhibition, and it was during World War I, with the aid of Scottish soldiers stationed in Silly, that the brewery's Scotch Silly beer was born. In 1950, in addition to the brewery's existing top fermented ales, a Pilsner was added and distributed by the brewery's own set of cafes. A series of beers under the Eingein label, including Eingein Blonde, Eingein Brune, and Eingein Noel, served to further extend the lineup starting in 1975. Blanche de Silly, a world-class wit beer, was launched back in 1990. Brasserie de Silly, in the time since then, has also introduced new releases like Abbey de Forest, a recognized Abbey beer, and the organic Silly Pills Bio. Brasserie de Silly remains family-owned, and their traditional high-quality techniques and ingredients remain of the utmost importance. As demand for this Belgian brewery's classic beers continue to grow worldwide, as the brewery puts it, brewing at Brasserie de Silly has not changed substantially since 1850. The process is still very traditional. That's pretty cool. So if I didn't mention before, this is a Strong Scotch Ale aged in Chardonnay barrels. It's 10% alcohol. This special release from Brasserie de Silly, a limited barrel-aged offering of the brewery's famous Scotch Silly Ale, gets aged in a particular type of barrel, the variety of which varies each year. We have recently seen the likes of bourbon, Bordeaux, cognac, and Pinot Noir barrel-aged versions. But this version aged in Chardonnay barrels is something truly unique. It combines the rich caramelly impact of its Scotch Silly base with fruity, vinous counterpoints from the residual barrel character. Sounds very complex and interesting. So, Now we get to talk about the beer itself. They're going to discuss the pouring, and I'll pour it, and then we'll talk about the scents and the flavors. So as we pour it, our glasses are filled with a rich, slightly hazy amber to brown liquid, a thick off-white head formed and lasted a good amount of time, allowing light ribbons of lacing to form with each sip. So let's see. We got this. Cap and cork. Hopefully I don't put a hole in my ceiling with the cork or put out an eye. These things always tend to pop off everywhere. One day, Don from Don's Beer Reviews took off the cap, and while he was talking, the cork just shot off, which was insane. Oh, this is loose. Hopefully this doesn't make a giant mess. A lot of gun smoke coming out there. But the beer's not climbing up the the bottle at all. So that's a good sign. Get into the glass here. That is a brownish liquid. I don't know what kind of head they're talking about. I'm not seeing much head right now. Maybe a little bit, a little bit of tan head forming. So, where do we go for the aromas exhibited pronounced caramel and roasty malt notes. It smells raisiny. Finest white wine expressions and fine layers of warm oak, vanilla, and hints of almond throughout. I'm just getting like a raisin scent out of this. Baked green and yellow apple aromas are accompanied by generous amounts of toffee and brown sugar, with notes of fig. As we swirl our glasses, earthy esters are released, adding a roundness to the overall aromas, giving our palates lots to look forward to. I do get some dark fruits, maybe. Dark fruit and raisin. Maybe a little bit of a wininess to it. And that's about all I'm getting out of on the nose. But my nose is not the best. And it is allergy season for me, unfortunately. The aromatics here are generous in fruit and barrel elements, complemented by floral hop aromas and light spice notes, but mellowed by those above vanilla and almond notes. No, don't get any of that. The nose of this Chardonnay-influenced Scotch Ale is smooth and super friendly, but do allow things some time to warm up in your glass to better bring out the more subtle contributions from the barrel. So on the front of the paperwork, it says the serving temperature is 45 to 52. Let's see how close I am. I'm at 59. And this was in the fridge overnight, but did set out a little bit. So I'm not quite within the range, a little warmer than it's supposed to be. And all these beers do sit in my cellar until a day or two before I'm going to drink them. Then I put them in the fridge to cool them down a little bit. So, special edition from Brasserie De Silly is incredibly easy drinking considering the amount of stuff going on in here with smooth texture and effervescent underpinning of bubbles and just a touch of warming. If you've watched this far, cheers to you. It is very smooth, super smooth. No effervescence. Even beyond the dense aromatics, the flavor takes the white, green grape, apple, and fig fruit scale and expands it, bringing in notes of fruit leather, candied orange peel, plum raisins, and sweet, rich dates. Raisins, dates, that's totally there. Maybe the candied orange. All these flavors are well balanced by floral, slightly grippy hop bitterness. There's no hop bitterness whatsoever in this at all. It's a sweet fruitiness. No hop bitterness at all. Trying to identify and dig into the various barrel contributions of barrel-aged beers like these can be a challenge on one's taste buds. Attempting to discern the fruity secondary notes of the Chardonnay barrels versus the ale's fruity esters tend to instead have us just enjoying the fact that certain central notes here approximate a caramel apple. Caramel apple? No way. It's very fruity, very sweet. There might be some appley notes there, though. I'll give him that. And that some things work well for reason. So many of Scotch Silly's core notes intertwine well with the barrel-aged sections here. A ton of complexity. It is complex. It's very fruity, very fruit-forward. It's almost like, what is that? It's almost like sangria to me. It kind of has like that sangria flavor to me. At the bottom here, it talks about pairing aging notes. And one thing it does say is that the beer is drinking very well now and seems to be reaching peak maturity. So when they say that, I believe if I remember right, the date on the box this came out of was from 2023. So supposedly they taste these beers before they box them and ship them to us. And so at the time of tasting, they thought it was reaching peak maturity. And it says a couple more years of aging can be had, but it's not mandatory. So I might be a little past the point of when this was perfect, but it says it could be aged. And this is 2 years from the time I received it. Again, with this rare beer club, my nose is a mess. It's always a mess. Springtime especially. My palate's not as refined as these people. Sometimes I wonder how they pick out all these crazy flavors. This is fruity, sangria fruity, sweet fruits, very easy to drink. 10% alcohol, no indication of that whatsoever. You could easily drink this whole bottle by yourself and not realize what you got yourself into until it's too late. This is decadent. Little bit of raisin, tasty. This would go excellent with a good cigar. This is almost like a good cognac without the alcohol burn. This is a really excellent beer. I really like this. I'm going to give this a big horns up. And I'm going to finish up with saying, when I looked on Untappd, this got a 3.88 with 1.9 thousand check-ins. Way low in my opinion. Beer Advocate, more along the lines of what I think this beer is. It received a 90 outstanding, even though it was only 28 check-ins. This is a most excellent beer. Really delicious. Really enjoy this beer. I'm going to enjoy savoring this beer. Excuse me, if you made it this long in the video, thank you very much for watching the whole video. Really appreciate it. Thank you all my 499 subscribers. And as always, embrace the adventure.